let's talk about how deforestation causes flooding. So there are two major factors, okay? One is to increase the amount of river water. The second one is to increase the amount of sediment in the river, okay? So how does that cause flooding? In general terms, deforestation increases the amount of water in the river so that when there is a fixed capacity of the river, all of a sudden more water means it's more likely to flood, right? So if you have a cup, there's a fixed volume of the cup. So now you usually pour, let's say 500 milliliter, but now you have 800 milliliter. So the cup can't hold all the water, right? Then it overflow, right? And that's flooding. That's first part. Deforestation causes increase in water. I'll explain the detail later on. The second part, deforestation causes increase in the sediment in the river. It means that it reduces the volume of the river. Okay, so now imagine I put some ice in your cup, okay, in your cup. So the volume for the cup decreases. The amount of water it can hold decreases, right? It's just like you go to a restaurant or you order takeout, and if you order, let's say soft drinks, you will say, oh, no ice please, right? Because you want to drink more, right? But ice is usually big, basically a whole cup of ice, one bun, right? So deforestation causes these two at the same time: more water and more sediment. So more water and a reduced capacity of the river. How? Deforestation removes the trees, so we have no interception. If you remember from the hydrological cycle, interception eventually will trap some rainwater, and more rainwater will infiltrate the underground because interception slow down the rainwater, and trees also serve as kind of like a guiding path for rainwater to flow along the tree roots into the soil. Okay, so more vegetation in general increases infiltration. Deforestation means removal of trees, so we remove the vegetation so there's no interception, infiltration rate decreases, and instead overland flow increases. So overland flow is a type of surface runoff, so those water eventually could end up in the river. That's why we say deforestation increases the amount of river water through increased overland flow and decreased infiltration. Good. The second one, we have increased sediment in the river. How? Because tree roots bind the soil tightly normally, so it's kind of like your finger, right, grabbing a bunch of soil, bunch of sand. So the tree roots hold the soil in place and serve as the vegetation cover, okay, against soil erosion. So basically, if the soil is occupied, there's a tree on top, then you can't see the soil, right? So, but when we remove the trees, the tree roots are gone as well. So now the topsoil is exposed. So topsoil exposed, the soil particles can be eroded, basically washed away by rainwater, overland flow, and blown away by wind. Okay, so that's soil erosion by wind and water. So what happens when the topsoil and the soil particles are washed away by overland flow? Okay, they flow along the water into the river. Okay, the overland flow washes soil particles into the river. So there are more sediments, more loads inside the river. Just go back to the example of ice. There are more ice in the cup now. Okay, so more ice in the cup, the carrying capacity or the capacity of the river decreases. Okay, so deforestation increases river water and it reduces the channel capacity, so it's more likely to flood as a result.